Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Advanced Selling Podcast, the longest running sales training podcast history. We're over almost to 20 years. We'll be at 19 years here in a couple weeks. My name is Bill Cassidy, and my co-host is
Brian Neal here. Remote again.
Remote, same Wi-Fi, same holodome. He's been shanghaied there from.
I switched Wi-Fi, so hopefully it's a little bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, staring out the window at the beautiful Des Moines International Airport.
Mm-hmm.
Got to look that up. You know, like airports love to say they're international if they have one flight that goes like to Canada or something, which I appreciate. Makes them sound bigger than they are. I don't know if Des Moines is international or regional. I have to look that up.
Did you get a chance to visit? I know you were planning on visiting Caitlin Clark's birthplace out there.
I did not. Nope. Did not. Nope. I'll keep that on the list for my next visit.
Next time. Yeah.
I did though. I was, because I travel a lot for football in August. This is like a thing. I don't know why this annoys me, but it does. I was traveling in Baltimore and I went to a Costco. I walk in the mornings a lot. It's kind of my new like athletic regimen, walking. And if I'm in an area, I walk outside. Most of the time, if there's a store, I'll go walk the aisles of the store. And I went into a Costco. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the store layout in another town is completely backward from your home store layout? So the Costco that I go to in Indianapolis, you enter and then it flows through certain departments.
Yeah.
Well, this one was totally backwards. Like the stuff that when I walk in was in the total opposite side. I walked through this section and I don't know why, but it drove me crazy because I couldn't find my way around in there. And I'm like, is this old man stuff? Like, is this like
kind of is?
It's backwards. Kind of is. Like, I thought the cooler's supposed to be over back by the toilet paper, but you guys got it messed up here. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
At my home, Costco, that's not the way it is.
And here we go again. We're back to possessive things when you get older, right? My walk, my newspaper, my coffee, my Costco. So I've now fallen into that trap that I have my own possessive Costco.
That's
it's so silly. It's so silly. And then I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm like, why does this bother me? This shouldn't bother me. It's like no big deal. It should be a learning. It should be an adventure. Oh, let's explore this new Costco layout. Maybe that'll be cool. But instead, I just kept getting lost and got frustrated and left. And I wasn't going to buy anything anyway.
Yeah, but you were frustrated.
Well, and then you're going for the samples. Let's be honest. You go to Costco for the samples, and
that's right.
That's a thing. So anyway,
okay,
I'll get over that.
We've got two special guests today. Brian, you and I have made a practice over the past couple of years of introducing our listeners to technologies that help them grow their business. And usually we just talk about them, whether it's AI or whether it's some kind of digital technology or some kind of camera hack or something. Last week, we talked about frameworks. It's not really a technology, but it kind of is because it's a shortcut. And so I'm always really interested, read a lot of Dan Sullivan and, guys that are saying, look, if you're not paying attention to technology, you're going to be left behind. And I found this company called Hyperbound and talked to Sai oh boy, I'm going to mess his name up, Guduguntla, here a couple of weeks ago. And we had a discussion about his company. And I thought it would really be good to have Sai and his co-founder Atul on to talk about the technology and how it's being used to train and coach sales professionals. So that's the introduction that I think I'd like to talk about today. Brian, do you have anything to say before we bring?
I just want to acknowledge that our guests today are in California and they are up at 6:30 a.m. local time to be on the Advanced Selling Podcast. Now, you would think they do that for like CNBC, Squawk Box, or, Good Morning America, but no, only for the Advanced Selling Podcast. So these guys get up this early. So thanks you guys for getting up early with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And also I want to apologize because they were supposed to be on last week and they were in the, the green room.
Green room.
Yeah. And I didn't see them. So that was my bad.
That's what we do. It's like Fallon, you get cut sometimes from Fallon. You get cut from the Advanced Selling Podcast. That's what it's like to be a guest on the show. I mean, it's big time.
Okay, so you've heard us babble enough. Why don't, Sai, do you want to take a stab? Tell us a little bit about the founding of Hyperbound and what exactly you do so that our listeners can get hooked into listening to the rest of the episode.
Awesome. First of all, thank you so much for having us. both of you, and we really appreciate coming on. And 6:30 a.m. It's not a problem at all. We do this. It's only for the best podcasts out there, so we're happy to be on here. Yeah, so a little bit about myself and my co-founder. My name is Sriharsha, but I go by Sai. And my co-founder Atul is on here as well today. We both started this company about almost 18. I guess I need to change my answer at this point. It's like 20 months now. And yeah, what we do is we actually coach salespeople. So imagine you're like an enterprise company. You have like 500 to 2,000 salespeople. How do you train everyone and coach them at scale? And so we built an AI software platform to help them do that at scale. And I don't know if you're familiar with role playing, Brian. You might have done it in your time. Well, we have an AI that you can role play with, and it would pretend to be a prospect or a customer, and you can pitch to the AI, and it will give you feedback on how well you did, and you can kind of go back and forth with it.
And so, what were you in sales, or why the topic? Because this is a great topic, but you must have had some reason for going down this path.
Yeah, it's interesting because, my co-founder and I were both conversational AI engineers. And you're probably like, what the heck is a conversational AI engineer? So,
I know, but go ahead and tell the listeners. I know what it is, but go ahead and tell the listeners. Yeah, I know what that is. Go ahead.
So I'll put it really simply, right? For the last decade, essentially, the both of us have been working on trying to get these AI models to be as realistic and human-like as possible. Right, to the point where when you talk to this AI, you can't even tell if you're talking to a real human being or an AI, right? And you'd be surprised. People talk about ChatGPT like it's this thing that just came out of thin air, last year, but it's been under development for decades now. And, we've been part of that. We've been seeing how this technology has evolved over time. In fact, and I'll let Atul talk a little bit about this too. He's worked on some of the precursor models to ChatGPT. Before we started Hyperbound. So, as soon as the technology became available, we decided, let's go start a startup. Had no idea what we wanted to do. We had nearly 17 to 20 different ideas in our arsenal, and we just had to go figure out what to do. And we started selling one of them. And by the way, this wasn't even the idea this was like idea 16. I believe. So, we're working on this idea and we're trying to sell that and quickly realized, man, we don't know how to sell. We're both engineers. We didn't know how to do discovery. We didn't know how to run a negotiation. We didn't know how to run a demo, right? And so naturally, what we did as technical founders was, let's just go build an AI bot that we can practice with, because that's what normal people do, right? And so we went and did that, and that's how we learned how to do sales. We just kind of sparred with this AI, and we were at a conference. I remember late in November 2023, and one of the CROs at the conference turned to my co-founder, and he said, "So let me get this straight. You guys are engineers. You've been selling only for 3 months now. You have 10 customers and you've never done sales before. Like, how'd you guys learn to sell so quickly?" And my co-founder was like, "Well, we practice on this AI, but it's not a big deal. We still have a long way to go." And he's like, "No, that's a big deal. You guys are at 250K in ARR. It's only been 3 months. It takes my reps 3 months to make their first sale. Like, how the hell did you guys learn how to sell?"
Yeah.
And so he wanted to see what we built. And so we showed him a demo of that AI sparring partner, and he was mind blown. We'd spent a decade building all kinds of things. Nothing's ever blown someone's mind like this product did. And that's how we knew we were onto something. So we made a hard pivot, and the rest was history.
Really great.
Atul, do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I'd say that the one piece that really got us interested in the world of sales is that we were both tangentially in the go-to-market org. So before this, I was on the Meta Ads Core ML team, defining ICP with 10,000 axes. Sai was on the Salesforce Einstein team. So we both understood and had a deep respect for the complexity of the sales process. And it was when we were thrust into it from going from engineers to essentially full-time salespeople when we were starting the company, that we realized every lead is too precious to burn, especially to us as founders.
That's true.
Right? And if we feel that way, selling a product without any case studies that's just a couple of weeks old, imagine being that English major straight out of college selling cybersecurity software, the chief information security officers. Right? Imagine being that individual selling insurance to in a B2B context, right? Like the threshold is so high. The amount of confidence that you need to have in these scenarios to have the executive presence, to have the business acumen necessary to do a good job is incredible. How do people obtain this? And that's where a lot of the inspiration for what we're doing now came about.
I love this because how many times, Brian, have you and I been a part of a company being, they being clients of ours, where they bring on a new person and this person has an awesome resume. Oh, we got a winner here. This person's going to show everybody how to do it. And then 3 months later, they're out because they either were misbehaving or their resume was a big lie. They didn't know how, or they just literally had never had training. And so now they're entering a new business. That's where I think this product is really going to help companies. But a question I have, Sai, is isn't there a little bit of a mindset shift that has to happen in the leadership of a sales organization before they engage with technology like this? Do they have to, or not? Maybe they don't, but it seems like they've got to kind of shift their mind from the traditional method of training to a new way.
Yeah. It's interesting because, we're not really inventing anything new, right? And the reason why I say that is because role-playing is not something that, we invented. This was around for, last 20 years. I'm sure both of you grew up role-playing, back in your time. And the thing is, there was a period of time where people just stopped doing it because we all went remote, especially during COVID, right? And then you also have these reps who spend like majority of their time just sending emails and sending texts, right? And we've forgotten how to talk to people, right? And there's this, I always like to call the latest generation of sellers the iPhone generation, because we all grew up texting more than we've grew up, talking to people and meeting face to face. And so how do you take this generation that is afraid to jump on a phone call and give them the confidence that they need to succeed in sales? And so we're just bringing back something that's always worked and just giving you a more scalable way to do it. So, and still there will be some sales orgs that will push back and say, hey, we stop role playing. We don't do that anymore. Right.
We're a professional football team. We stopped.
We don't need to. We did. Yeah. We're in the NFL. We figured this out. We're good. We got it.
Right. Well, we do run into those types of companies.
And that's what I love of what you're doing with your product. And this is just a good, general topic. I don't know if that's where you're going with this, Bills. First of all, the question is, as a sales leader I'm running a sales org, and if it's enterprise, it's 500 to 2,000 or 3,000, or it could be smaller, it could be mid-market, it's 100. The question is, do I have a practice culture? Do I have a practice culture? Is practice part of my culture? Yes or no? And that's the first thing that needs to be answered. And if we do decide we want to have a practice culture, then we go to, okay, how do we practice? What I love about what you're saying is, and I don't know if it can do this, when I hear the phrase 10,000 axes, I get all sorts of scrambled up. I mean, that just blows my mind. I love studying space and subatomic particle stuff, like physics. I love that. So, but it's complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Humans who are playing the buyer in the traditional role play, as you likely said back in our day, or you said something. I love that, dude. Because back in me and Bill's day, it was live. The buyer is a person too. And the whole thing was like an opinion. But AI is smarter than humans because it has no emotion.
Yeah.
So can the seller learn because what I know about machine learning and AI is it learns, right? It learns things. And so is that part of this process too? Can the AI buyer get smarter as it goes?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a large part of what we do is build these buyers that are scarily realistic and also model out all of the different sales scenarios that you might have. One of our customers, for just one of the 6 products that they sell, has realized that they have 1,800 unique different sales scenarios. They were previously preparing their reps for 12. Right? We're coming in and we're actually defining all 1,800 of these scenarios, identifying that Joe, for example, is really strong at 300 out of 1,800. And those are the ones that he encounters most frequently. But whenever Joe encounters, scenario 674, he really struggles. And here's why. But Bob on his team handles that scenario very, very well. And here's how Bob handles it. Here's how he positions value. Here's how he sets up his discovery. And we're able to transfer that knowledge, transfer those tips from Bob to Joe. Like that is essentially the core tenet of our platform. It's just, hey, there is a lot of complexity to this that we just haven't been recognizing. Let's uncover it and then help people understand what they can do with that information. That's what AI can do better than humans. I mean, can you ask a human to keep track of 1,800 scenarios?
You can.
Right?
No, I would know. I knew 674. I have that one. I have that one memorized.
Yeah, you're good at that. You've always been.
I couldn't do. Yeah, when you get into the 800s, I fall apart a little bit. So.
Well, Brian and I are looking for some content for the next 10 years of the episode. I think these 800 scenarios would be perfect.
We got it, man. Taking our 40th year.
So if I'm a VP of sales or sales leader or a team lead, because we have a lot of companies who have team leaders that are also, they double as sales professionals, also managers. What's the best way for them to reach out to you, or is there a demo on the page? Just tell us a little bit about, for someone who's interested, what they should do.
And I'll tell you a little bit about how they should do it and why it made us go viral as well.
Good.
So the reason why Hyperbound is where we are today, why we're so successful, is because of our demo site. And I highly recommend anyone listening to go check it out. You just head over to Hyperbound.ai. You don't need to log in. You don't need to give us any crazy information. You can just go and try one of our bots. Right? You don't need to hop on a call with our rep. You just go try it. And everyone online has tried this. We've had reps from over 15,000 companies try this.
Wow.
Hundreds of thousands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of reps have popped onto our free demo site and tried our bots for free. And you can experience what it's like to talk to a sassy bot, to a rude bot, to someone who is going to give you the time of day, someone who's going to, hang up on you. So it's an experience.
Because by the time a person gets to booking a call with one of your people, it's over, baby. Because your people are probably very well trained. It's like, you're not coming back from this one.
Yeah,
exactly. No, but the other piece is it just allows folks to build some excitement within their org and bring the right people to that first call. And that makes our job so much easier.
Yeah, Brian, I think that point about practice culture and when we look at the top 20% of sales professionals and they have a presentation coming up, they practice and practice and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. They don't do it once and say, good enough, or on the way to the call, they're not looking through their practice. And what is it in NFL, 40 hours or 20 hours of practice for every hour a game or whatever it is. Same thing here. And I think like you said, Sai, every sales interaction is vital today because leads are so scarce. And it's not like you can just throw out a fax and have 1,000 people call you. So every lead is we have to revere every lead. And the way you revere it is you be at your best.
I also love what your solution does is it solves another problem that I'm guessing but haven't thought of, which is just the resistance an individual salesperson has to practicing in front of their boss or their peers. People hate it. It sounds like Hyperbound allows me to practice and no one even needs to know I'm practicing. It has that ability, right? Yeah. That I can go spar, as an individual, even just on the website, and I don't need to tell anybody. And that's another big hang up people have. They think they're getting judged the whole time, especially if you go generational, the Gen Zs, boy, they don't want to look bad. It's like, I want to make sure I do it perfectly before I do it. And,
absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why, some of the companies that we see have stopped role playing altogether. because they just can't get the reps to do it. They're like, well, yeah, our reps feel like it's too awkward, or our managers feel like it's too awkward, and so they're just like, we're just not going to do it.
Plus, the buyer has to be, in a role play, your buyer has to be legit honest too. Sometimes the buyer will take a shot at a rep that they're role playing with because they don't really like him, but because they just beat him in the numbers last month, so they'll take a shot. But there's the buyer has to be educated, and I'm sure the LLM is. That's good.
And especially for managers too. Oh, go ahead, Atul. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just about to say that there's two things that we've noticed. One is that the buyers actually tend to be more realistic now because they're consistent. They have the same type of information when they're doing a role play with Joe and Bob, whether they like Joe or Bob. But more importantly, they're able to provide a ton of negative feedback, and the reps don't feel judged. They just feel scored. They're able to provide a whole plate of negative feedback. How many compliment sandwiches can you actually give a rep?
Yes.
But it's not needed when it's an AI, because it's not your manager. You know that it's not someone who's taking this personally against you.
That's true.
It's great.
You can be brutal.
Yeah, just what it is. It's just a fact. It's just a binary at that point, right? It's using data. I just love it. Love what you guys are doing. It's great.
So the best place for a person to go is to Hyperbound.ai, and they can actually try that. They can try the system. They can try the tool, correct? What about for you guys? What's a good place for people to connect with you? Is it LinkedIn, or is it another platform better? And how should they do it?
Yeah, best way to reach Atul and I is LinkedIn. We're both very active on there. Otherwise, you can also email us at founders@hyperbound.ai, and one of us will be sure to reach out. So feel free to DM us anytime.
Good, thank you. Yeah, we'll put all that in the show notes. Travis, let's load that into the show notes so we have not only their contact information, but also the website. And I encourage every listener to go check it out. I mean, you may find, it's not really for me, or you may find, oh my gosh, if I had this and I worked it an hour a week, I could double my business because my closing rates are too low and they need to be double, and this is the way to do it. So I think there's a lot of potential.
This reminds me of a really interesting story, man. We had we were selling to a prospect recently, and we had built a whole business case for the product, and the entire the SVP of global sales was up for it. The head of enablement was all ready to bring in Hyperbound. Then we go to the CRO. He looks at the business case, and the first thing he says is, "So if confidence is the problem, why don't we just put a shot of whiskey on everyone's table?" It's like, wouldn't that do the same thing?
Interesting.
And I was just gonna leave the audience, with a tidbit of advice. I think role playing is better than taking a shot of whiskey. Out there.
Because one shot turns into two, and then two turns into four.
Yeah.
And lunch turns into happy hour. I mean, I know that. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Atul and Sai, thank you very much for being on. And once again, we recommend you go to hyperbound.ai, check out the tool, and see if that can help you, especially you sales leaders and sales managers. You don't have to have a team of 1,000. You can have a team of 20. And just check it out, see if it helps.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
And kudos for you guys for what you're doing.
Nice work.
I love the energy and the effort, and I love seeing engineers, really smart people, rolling over on the sales. Not that salespeople aren't smart, but man, we love engineers that come over to our side of the fence. Man, it's awesome. All right, congrats.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thanks again.
See you guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
All right.